Hey everybody, how are you? I hope everybody has survived the whole U.S. election thing. Wow. And now we can finally get back to what is actually Im- important in life: Blender. So let's take a look. Um, I have done a little bit of work on the car here, but a couple of things I need to do. I think I need to create a trunk because, as I said, I need the back or the trunk to open up. So what I've done is I've combined the tail and these pieces and the trunk itself into one object. And now I can hit RX and rotate it up to open up the trunk. I've also given it some thickness using the solidify modifier, but I think I need to put a trunk in there, kind of like this. It doesn't need to be real detailed because there's going to be crates and things in there. It's going to be cases of guns and things like that. So I need to do that. I need to put that spoiler thing down here in the front. And I also need to create these things here. These vents or whatever on the engine here. So maybe I'll start with that. Let's select that hood and let me try and figure out where these are going to go. So I've got this mirrored, so anything I do on one side is going to happen on the other. That's good. We've got these two and then this one here. So I will have to apply the mirror before I do this one. So let's work on these first, right? I think that'd be good. Let me go to the side view and see if I can figure out where these things are. There's that. It looks like here's that piece right there. Yeah, let's work with that. There we go. Whoa, okay. So I think what I need is maybe just 4 faces on either side, something like that. And it looks like it's going to be an extrusion. And then it looks like it's going to need to be pulled up a bit on the back side, and then on the front maybe pulled down a bit. Let's see. Let's try this. So if I hit E and extrude, what's going to happen here? And I'm going to hit scale. Okay, so I can scale these in a bit. I can scale these in the Y, a bit like this. Right? I could grab this edge here and just pull it up. Let's see what happens here. Okay. Or do I want to, maybe what I need to do is extrude these down first. Let's try that. Let's take these and extrude them down. Straight down like that. All right. And then let's take these edges here and pull them up. Is that going to work? And then what's going on here? Maybe I should grab all of these, pull them up like that, and then grab these points and pull them down a little bit like that so it kind of angles. I don't like these pieces here that's happening. See how that looks. Yeah, that's going to be a little... Well, let's see. I'm going to change the flat, change the smooth. Helps a little. Okay. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to work, but let's give it a try here. What we could do is we could bevel all the way around so that edge all the way around has a little bit of a curve to it. It does look like it's a little curved, and if I could give it a little bevel, maybe it would catch the light a bit and look kind of cool. Let's try it. I know you're thinking, what? More edges? More geometry? Yeah, but as I said, this isn't an interactive game. I'm going to be using a game engine to do real-time rendering as opposed to rendering out in Blender. So I'm kind of cheating. You know, a little. That's okay. Okay, so I've got these edges selected. I press Control B. I'm going to hold the Shift key down and kind of bevel these a bit. Oh, let me try and add a segment in there, see what happens. Ooh, that's kind of nice. I like that. I like this little curved edge here. Okay. Now let's come back in here and get these little rims in here. So here we go. I'm going to grab this and extrude and scale in like that, and then I'm just going to push down just a hair like that. See what happens. All right. I may go with that for now. Let me grab these edges here and pull these up just a smidge. So I'll grab that Z-axis and pull it up and hold the Shift key down and just bring it up just a little bit. Kind of smooths that out a bit. All right, I'm going to try that. Now, let's work on this piece here. What do we need to do for that? I guess pretty much the same thing, huh? So what I'm going to do is go ahead and turn off the mirror. And let's go to the side view again and figure out where that thing is. Yeah, there it is right there. So if I select these faces, I think that's them. Okay. And it's kind of over to this side, so maybe just that one face there, or do you think I need two? I think just that one face should do it. So for this, what I'm going to try is extruding up and then tilting it, and then extruding the face in from this side. So let's try. No promises here. Extrude, scale in. Let's pull it up just a bit. And I'll take this edge and bring this up a bit. Looks like I could take this face and scale it in the X to bring that in some, but that's not quite what I wanted. No. Maybe I'll just take that edge. Yeah, let me try this. Like that. It's kind of twisting a little bit. Go to my top view. Okay. Now let's grab this face here and extrude that in. Scale in a bit. And push that in some and scale in some. So we kind of have something like that. Now, do we need an extra edge in there? I don't know. Let's try it. Kind of define that. All right. I'm not liking how those faces are pulling, but you know what? I think I'm going to try it. Even, ow! I forgot to apply everything before I did this. You're supposed to remind me of this. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and apply the mirror modifier first. Like so. And then let's go in and do this again. All right. I should be able to do it pretty quick now. All right. So if we extrude it, scale it in, bring that face or that edge up. Let's align these here. I'll press R and Z and kind of turn those in. Move these in a bit, like so. Let's try this. Now let's grab this face and do that again. So let's hit extrude. Let's push that back in like this. Something like that. Okay, so let me bring this edge up right here. Someone mentioned earlier in one of the earlier streams that if I hit G twice, I could then slide that edge. They are, of course, correct. That is an awesome way to do it. So let's give this a try for now. I think I may have gone up too high, but yeah, I did. It's flat there, isn't it? Okay. Well, I could bring that up to there. And then I could grab all of these here and bring these down a bit. Like that. Let's try that. All right. Let's go with that for now. The trunk. Let's take a look at the trunk. Oh, and also what I need to do is put this metal piece on right down here. And in doing that, I'll also put the floor in the car. And as I said, I don't need a whole lot of detail in here. I just need something so we can't see through it. And for this, I think what I can do is just create this piece down here and let this be that metal trim and let it also be the floor of the car. So maybe I'll just do that here while we're here. I'm going to create a cube, scale it, and bring it up here and put it into place. And then, let's see. There we go. Now I'm going to grab that. Well, first we ought to split it down the middle, I think. I'm going to press Shift H, go to my top view, and put an edge right down the center. Then I'll grab all these faces, and now I can mirror it over like that. All right, so that's good. Let's grab that face and bring it all the way over like that. Alt-8. Oops, let me go to object mode and press Alt-H and bring everything back. Now let's see if we can grab that one face on top. And let's scale that in the Y so we get that. Well, maybe I better grab these points here and just pull those out like that. And this here like this. And these can go all the way back to here. Okay, so all I'm doing is just trying to get that metal piece down there. And I think what I want it to do is come out from there. Pull it back like that. I'm going to extrude it out. And then out to there. And then I'm going to tilt that guy in just a little bit like that. Okay, so that's going to be a kind of a metal material, and then the rest of this in here is going to be kind of a black, and we'll use that for the interior. So if I select one of those windows and just hide that with the H key, you can see now that fills in the floor, and that's all I really need. So we'll see if this will work. Not sure it will yet. No. Okay. Put a little bit like that. All right, there's that. I can smooth it. See how that looks. So that's going to be that metal piece down there. All right, I'll work on that later. I think that's going to be okay. Now the trunk. Let me rotate this up so we can see inside, and you can see we don't have anything in there. And so we're going to need to put something like this in here. Doesn't need to be too elaborate, just enough so we don't see through it when the trunk is open. Let's see, I think maybe what we need to do is just bring a cube in. Let's try this. So if I bring a cube in, and take out that top face, like so. Let's see if we can get this to work. I'd better mirror this, because we're going to want to model kind of on one side and let the other one come along. So let's mirror this over. Clipping. Now, let's see if we can just block this out and get it so it kind of works in here. I'm just going to move these out. Nope, let's move it by face and move this out until it hits that tire. There we go. And let me grab this face and move that back to there, let's say. This really needs to come up like so. I really need to put kind of a back part above that seat, don't I? So we don't see down through that. Let me hide this. Yeah, right in here. I really need to put something in there. I could do that with this now, couldn't I? If I selected this and just took this edge here and just extruded it back. So say like this, and extruded that back to there. Let's try that. That should just cover that. Something like that. Let's extrude this out too. Something like that. Okay. So okay, there's that. Now, this almost needs to be wider. There we go. Okay, so we've got that, so we can't see in from that top window. Down here, we need to make sure that we don't have the tires in here. So let's grab this edge and bring this in like this. like that. And, well, it almost looks like what we should do is do it this way and then bring this edge in. Maybe these two. Like that. No. Well, dang it. Here we go. Like this. Okay. So we've got that. I want to bring it up a bit. I don't need these to be quite so low. That can come up some. Like this. Okay. Yeah, so I think something like this will work for us. All right. As I said, it doesn't need to be real detailed. Let me smooth it. And also, I'm going to need to probably flip those normals, aren't I? Let me see. Let's select them. Control N. Yeah, that's better. But yeah, no, that worked. Now the back of the normals is down here, and that's fine. Okay. Good. So, just want to bring this like that. There we go. All right. So that kind of gives us the interior of the trunk. This can come up quite a bit like this. There we go. Yeah, so that gives us the interior of the trunk. So as we're going to see it from up here, as I said. That'll be good, and then we'll have our ammo and guns and things in here. All right. So let's see, what else? Man, I think we're almost done here. I wouldn't mind doing a little bit more texture or work inside the trunk, but that may really need to be a texture in there. I don't know that I want to model all of that. That just seems way too much. But let me get this closed again. I'll just take the rotation down to 0 and close that. And I think that's looking pretty good. Now what I need to do as well is close off the wheel wells. That might be a good thing to do right now. So maybe let's work on that. Someone asks, modeling a single body or modeling separate parts, which one is better and why? Good question. You can do either one. The problem is, for me, I like to try and do things in pieces because you can really get it to be well, okay. So let me try and think of an example here. Trying to think of an example of something. So if I needed an extra edge loop going this way, I've got an idea here. So if you saw in one of the earlier videos, I added an extra edge here, right? Ridge up. Dang it. Go away. Stop. Okay. And what that threw my train of thought off. Oh, so what this will do is, because I have it as a separate piece, that edge does not continue on through here, right? That edge would have to continue on through here, and that edge would have to continue on through here, and on through here, and it would just keep on going all the way around the car. So splitting things up into pieces allows you to add edges where you need it, but not extend it on beyond into the other parts of the car. So that's one reason why I do things in pieces. And another reason why I do things in pieces is because I like to think of an object like this as how it was created in the factory. And for me, it's easier to break out, well, here's the hood. I can figure out that I need a plane for the hood, and here's the bumper, and I know that maybe that's a cube. To begin with the whole thing, to me, is a little too complicated. But there are good ways, there are pros and cons of either way. Which works better in a real-time engine? It really doesn't matter. It's all about how many polys or tries you have in it in the first place. Ultimately, I'm going to combine all of these into one object, right? It's all going to be just one object, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's think about what else do we need to do here. Oh, the wheel wells. Let's take a look at this. I could take this edge and just extrude it over. But now that I was just talking about, not doing that. Well, actually, let's just see what happens. And we won't tell anybody, okay? All right, here we go. I'm going to hit E and extrude this in, and let me hit clipping and pop those in like that. Ooh, that was easy. I like easy. That was kind of easy. Okay. Is it really that easy? I mean, I could do it that way, like this. Something like this. Yeah, I mean, really? I mean, we aren't going to be seeing the underneath side of this, and that's why I didn't do the backs of the tires either. I mean, that's the thing, is I really know exactly how we're going to see this car. I know that we are never going to see this car like that, from below the ground or even right at the ground. We're never going to see it. We're always going to see it at least by human height, right? Well, let me just try that back here with the rear fender here. That should not work. That should not be that easy. And of course, I'm sure I'll figure out that there's some problem with this, but I'm just going to select an edge and then hit Control and select another edge just to select that whole path there. And then making sure that clipping is on, I'll hit E and pull these in. Yeah, that should not be that easy. And I'm sure I'll figure out some reason why I shouldn't do that. I'll let you know. So there's that. Oh, I guess I've got that coming through. So let me grab that. Move it down. All right. Wow. Who knew? So if you figure out a reason why I shouldn't have done that, let me know. All right. So it kind of looks like we're ready to UV map this. There's probably some cleanup I need to do. I should probably do that before we begin, but I think I may call it a day now. Are there any other questions or anything? Let me see. Why do you want to render the animation in Unity or Unreal instead of doing it in Blender? Time. I feel like that I can render things out basically in real time in Unity. I think I am going to use Unity now that they've come out with a new timeline feature. It would take days, weeks, maybe months to render out the number of frames that I'm thinking about doing. So if I can just basically hit record and have Unity recorded in real time, I'll do it. That's kind of the beauty of a game engine. It isn't going to be as pretty as a Pixar film, but I think it's going to be pretty good. If you combine all the separate pieces, won't it affect the UV map and it would be a mess? Well, not really. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be UV mapping each piece at a time. And then once I get all the UV islands into the UV map, I will then press Control A to average island scale and Control P to pack everything into the UV space. And Blender will basically do it for me. It will make sure that all the UVs are not overlapped. Yes, I could use a render farm. What, free rendering? Really? Sheep it? Really? I'm going to look into that. Okay, thank you. But once again, even though it's free, it's still going to be a lot of time. I think I'll take a look at that. Warning, the timeline feature in Unity isn't complete yet. It's still beta testing. Yes, it's true, but at the rate I'm going, this is taking a while. It should be up and going. So hopefully, and we'll see. We'll see. It still isn't... I'm still not for sure exactly what I'm going to be doing. So, all right. Well, let's see. Let's take one more question. When rendering, is it possible to make Blender render more farther back from the camera than default? I think I'm not sure. So one, you can just move the camera. So if we put a camera in here real quick, you can just move the camera to, just move it away, or you can change the focal length of the camera down here. I'll just bring this up real quick right here. So when you bring a camera in, it's at 35 millimeter lens for a 35 millimeter film, I believe. I forget. But so it's 35 millimeter focal length, and you can zoom in by going up to 100, or you can zoom out and make it a really wide angle lens and make it 20. But ultimately, I think all you really need to do is just move that camera away, change to local, and move the camera away from your object. I think that should do it. Well, anyway, I hope that helps. thank you for watching, and I think in the next few videos we'll actually go ahead and UV map it. So that should be fun, I think, because I'm probably the only person in the world who enjoys UV mapping. So we'll see you then, and take care.